If you're a chief human resources officer, your job is anything but static. It's constantly moving, it's breathing, it's changing. It really does follow a cycle. So today, we're going to explore this really cool metaphor for that journey, the 4 distinct seasons of a CHRO's life. So let's just jump right in. I want you to ask yourself, right now, which season are you in? It doesn't matter if you're brand new to the C-suite or you've been doing this for years, because this cycle, it just keeps repeating. Are you in that initial phase, planting new seeds? Or are you in the middle of some crazy growth? Maybe you're harvesting all your big wins. Or are you weathering an inevitable storm? And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a super practical insight from Cindy Liu, the founder of CHRO Partners. She's in the trenches, working with top people leaders every single day, helping them navigate these exact seasons.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We're going to walk through each of the 4 seasons. That's spring, summer, fall, and of course, winter. And then we'll wrap up with the one real question that honestly ties this whole thing together.
All right, let's dive into spring. Think of this as the startup season for HR. You might find yourself here if you've just joined a company that's growing like crazy, maybe a private equity-backed venture, or any organization that's just going through a massive change. You know the feeling. The business is a rocket ship, but the people systems, they're kind of still on the launch pad. So what's the mission here? It's actually pretty simple. Your job isn't about these grand strategic projects yet. It's about building the absolute essential infrastructure that lets the business run without, falling apart. So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it means getting your hands dirty with the foundational stuff, getting compliance and risk totally under control, putting in a solid HRIS, building hiring plans that can actually scale, and giving your managers the basic coaching and structure they are probably desperate for. Yeah, it's not always the most glamorous work, but let me tell you, it is absolutely mission critical. Now, this is so important, so listen up. It might feel like you're not connected to the real business, but your focus has to be internal. It has to be in HR. Why? It's simple. Stability builds credibility. You earn your seat at the strategy table later by proving you can make things work now. Okay, so once you've built that solid foundation, things start to change. The seasons shift. You move into summer and fall. And this is where your focus pivots, like dramatically. It moves from those internal operations to driving real external business value. And you can really see the shift right here. In spring, you were focused in HR, kind of like a support function. But now, in summer, you're in the business. You're not just supporting. You're becoming a growth engine. You're moving past just building foundations and into some really advanced talent management. This is when things get exciting. This is the season for the big, meaty, strategic work. We're talking real succession planning, leadership development that's actually tied to what the business needs, and culture work that's not just fluff, it actually drives performance. I mean, just think about how the CHRO at Microsoft was so key to that growth mindset cultural shift, which directly powered their business transformation. These are the kinds of levers that build a real competitive advantage. So after all that high-energy growth in summer, you might be thinking fall is when things slow down, right? Nope, not at all. Fall isn't a decline, it's the harvest. This is the season where all those years of investing in people and systems, they start to compound and pay off in a huge way. So what exactly is this harvest? It's everything you've been working for. You've got strong leaders all over the organization. You have systems and data that you can actually trust. You've earned some serious credibility with your CEO and the board. And, this is huge, you have an HR team that's so empowered they can operate without you needing to be in every single meeting. This is the season of peak strategic influence. But of course, no cycle is all sunshine, and no cycle is complete without winter. This is the season that, believe me, every single CHRO will face at some point, no matter how successful they are. It really is the inevitable test. Winter can hit you fast. Suddenly, the pressure is on for layoffs. The demands for deep, painful cost cuts start coming down. And then comes the reality of hiring freezes. It's a tough time. Fear is running high, and the business is basically in survival mode. And here's the most important thing to remember. Hitting winter doesn't mean you failed. It's just reality. It's business. It's economics. This season is what tests everything. your leadership, your judgment, your character. It tests your ability to guide an organization through a storm with genuine humanity. It's about being that calm voice in the room, making sure decisions are guided by data and empathy, and fighting to protect the core of your culture when it's under attack. Honestly, these are the moments where the most respected HR leaders truly build their legacies.
And that brings us to the real heart of this whole thing. You see, having this framework of the seasons is great, it's powerful, but it all boils down to one fundamental question. So here's the thing. The biggest challenge for most CHROs isn't a lack of skill or talent. It's isolation. The real question isn't which season you're in, it's who you're in it with. Are you trying to figure all of this out by yourself? Look, you don't have to go through this alone. You don't have to grind through all that foundational work in spring by yourself. You shouldn't have to guess your way through the big strategic pivots of summer. You definitely don't want to waste the incredible opportunities of fall, and you absolutely cannot survive winter on your own. Having a trusted group of peers, that's the key. And that's exactly why Cindy Lou and CHRO Partners put this out there. If you're a CHRO or a chief people officer at a company with over 500 people, you can navigate all of these seasons with 150 other people who have been right where you are. They can help you see what's coming next. Really, the most important thing to take away from all this is simple. Don't go it alone.